Okay. Okay. Lori Michael Johnson is alive here on Earth. Her husband played in the NFL, so I communicate with her through the wives page, and she's since joined me on Facebook and stuff. Seems like a real sweet lady, but divorcing from her ex and stuff and that whole scenario. But okay, I feel really awkward asking you to do something this special for me. Well, ask away. Jamie and I love, and Griff and all of us love doing special things for me. If you get around to it and there aren't more important questions, what more important question is there than hers? Okay. My dad passed away November 17th of 2015. His name was Joe Michael. We were very close my whole life, and I was with him when he passed. He was living with me. He has not come to me at all, no signs. I had to see a therapist because I couldn't mourn the loss for 8 months. No tears, no feelings, nothing. I really feel discombobulated with him gone still a year and a half later. Why hasn't he come to me in a dream or given me some sort of sign? Why has he left me alone? That would be the question I would ask. If you can't get around to it, I understand. I've watched some of your YouTube videos. They're so amazing.
You know, that is a perfect question. Why did he leave me alone?
Okay.
And I think for some listeners, they might hear that as a poor me question, or
Right.
feeling like a victim or left behind.
Right.
But I think it is a very clear and accurate question because your father is here.
Okay.
He came
Hi,
in
Joe.
before I was inviting him. He
Okay.
says hello.
Hi.
He's a little bit reserved, and
Okay.
you are right. He left you alone.
Okay.
And he left you alone. I'm going to start crying.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you got to step back some, okay? It's all right. It's okay. Regroup.
It's okay, Jamie.
And that's how fast that happens.
It's a human body.
Oh, he's very sweet. He knows exactly where he is. He's not lost.
Uh-huh.
But he is so concerned about his daughter.
Okay.
So much so that he didn't know how to manage the relationship afterwards.
Okay.
So he left you alone. He thought that was the better of the choices, to not continue your grief, that if you were able to show up and not be back later. Now that he knows more of how he can communicate to you, he's willing to begin to reach out and start the dialogue. But I have to tell you, your dad is absolutely terrified about hurting your heart again. So if you could please have a conversation with him one-on-one. You can do it prayer style. You can do it meditation. You can do it when you're laying in your bed, you're about to go to sleep, and invite him in like an old friend. Pretend like you're sending him an evite in your head, and let him know that whatever you're going to go through after getting back in touch with him is up to you, and that it's not his responsibility anymore, that the relationship between the two of you is more valuable than being apart. He loves you. He keeps saying, I love you. He loves you so much that he put you up on a shelf to protect you. And so he's going to need some coaching about how to build that relationship again, okay?
Okay.
He's still exactly who he is. I love it. Sometimes it looks like he's hiding his hands or putting his hands in pockets. But he has long pants on.
Joe, what are some signs that your daughter Lori could feel that you're around? Like, I feel chills when Griff's around, 100%.
Well, he's very good with emotion.
Yeah.
But I'd like for him not to use overwhelming and tears and crying as a signal of being there, though I think that is his natural state of being.
Okay.
So let's coach him into bringing something else to the table. Like,
So we can feel that, Jamie, and Joe, like, you can feel that overwhelming, like, yawning a spirit's around, or that overwhelming that you got It's the energy coming in so strong.
Big time.
Like he's here.
He's
And
here.
there's no doubt about it. Like right now I have the chills. But you can just feel it, a strong energy. And if we as humans don't question it, we just go with it and start talking to them.
Yes, the moment we start questioning it, we start to think we're a little crazy. Did that really happen? Or maybe that was just me and I'm not in control over my emotions and it just gave me goosebumps. So we're going to go with chills and goosebumps as being a sign rather than the overwhelming emotion and tears. And yeah, you could do this. She's reaching out to you.
Right? Joe, I didn't know you, but I'm taking your answer, and I didn't take her question as a victim question at all, just as a real question. You just left her alone so she could continue on with her life because you didn't want her to be grieving so heavy every day she couldn't function?
Yes, he saw what it did to her.
Right.
And he thought being hands-off was the best way to handle it.
And now you think it would be time to come around? That she could handle it now?
He said I would like that very much.
Okay. Well, I'm for sure going to get that message, and she sure has been sweet to me. You raised a good girl.
He's thanking you.
Okay. Come anytime if you have a message for her, but I will definitely get that message to her. I'm sure she'll be over the moon that we reached you. Okay. So, Heather Montgomery.
He waves bye.
Bye. Okay, Heather Montgomery. She says, I would love to hear from my sister Holly Montgomery, who died on her birthday when she was 19. I don't know if this means she died really literally on her birthday, but she was 19. Holly Montgomery. Your sister Heather would love to hear from you if you're around.
And what would Sister Heather like to hear? Did she say?
Nope.
Oh, we would love more details on those questions. That would be very helpful because Sister is here, Holly. Holly Montgomery is just a great name, isn't it?
Isn't it? Heather and Holly. Oh, that's awesome. So I'll ask. Do you hang around your sister? And did you are you where you need to be in heaven, the way you need to be?
Well, Winnie has befriended her, and Winnie and Holly are standing up.
Okay.
Holly looks beautiful.
Wow.
Like very well put together. Her skin is glowing.
Right.
Her eyes are bright. You know, they're not darkened. It's, you know, the hair is done. There's just like a
beauty to her.
Yeah. It's kind of like, is there a special event going on today, or is this just normally who you are?
Right.
And yes, she hangs around her sister Heather quite a bit.
Okay.
And she took it upon herself. She wasn't asked, but she took it upon herself to manage the love relationships in her sister's life. So she's been presenting better relationships and helping out.
Okay.
So Heather, if you're feeling like somebody is definitely in your business that way,
meddling, yes.
Point fingers to your sister.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, and if she ever asks a more specific question, I'll ask you.
Yeah, and she wants me to acknowledge what nice shoes she has on.
Oh. Okay.
I'm not really a shoe
I have a lot of friends that are shoe whores. I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
into that, but I have a lot of friends that are. Yeah.
Holly saying bye.
Bye, sweetheart. I'll get the message to your sister. Stay glowing. You light up a room, apparently.
She lights up a room.
Okay. Susan Owens Robertson. Could you please see if my late husband, R.C. Owens, has any messages for me? R.C. was in a coma for several days before he passed away. The day before he passed away, right before we decided to let him rest, he opened his eyes and tried to communicate with me. He kept mouthing something, but he had a BiPAP machine covering his mouth, right? So I couldn't, well, he has a lot to say now. So I couldn't understand what he was trying to say. I thought he might be hallucinating, so I moved to the other side of the bed, but his eyes and his head followed me, so I know he was desperately trying to tell me something. Regretfully, I fell apart crying and left the room, feeling so guilty that I had allowed the doctors to give up after his kidneys had failed. I thought he was telling me he didn't want to die, and I was letting him. So many people have told me he was trying to say goodbye or tell me he loved me, yet I continue to feel this guilt for not being strong enough to rip that machine off his face to hear his last thoughts. If you could help me hear how he was doing and if he is happy, I would be eternally grateful. So RC, your wife Susan.
My hair is standing up on my back, like back of my head. It's just R.C. Owens. What a fantastic name!
Right?
And as soon as you started asking the questions, he was telling me before. So I was having a little fun about. He opened his eyes, and then he was mouthing, and he was wanting her to take off the mask because he wanted to say "I love you," and he wanted to tell you he was leaving. He didn't want it to be a surprise for you.
Right.
Like he was leaving soon.
Right.
Because there could have been days and weeks of this happening. There was no information of what was happening because his body was staying kind of normal, though it was deteriorating. It was oddly stable in some weird way.
Okay.
And he had the opportunity to check out, and it's all he wanted to say to you. He felt terrible about scaring you. He said he can imagine it. It's almost like I had already come back from being dead.
Right.
You know,
right.
He said you had already said your goodbyes. You had already wrapped up everything. And he said it was just so one-sided. He couldn't stand it. He had to say something. So he would love, I still have the goosebumps and everything. He has not let. He would love if you could replay your memory.
Okay.
And he says, and just pretend that you stayed in that room with me. He's like, let's rewrite this memory together. And he said, see yourself reaching over. He's like a romantic. See yourself reaching over and taking the mask off and hearing me say, I love you. Hearing me say goodbye. And of course he wants a kiss.
Right.
But he doesn't show capability of arms moving, anything like that. All I see are a slight movement in the head, the eyes,
right,
and the mouth. Like it's just, he's all up here in his head. The whole rest of the body is let go. And he just wants a little kiss goodbye.
Aww. So you want to rewrite it with your wife so she can let go of that beating herself up or feeling guilty. Aw, Jamie.
That is so sweet. Oh my God.
I know you're gonna cry. Jamie, he was telling you the story at the same time that I was telling the story.
Oh yeah, go back and watch the video. I was trying to mimic what he was saying as you were asking or reading it.
Aww. And
he is so present. Oh my God, your husband is so present.
Oh my God, and she's been holding on to this memory, it sounds like, for a while, and what relief this will give her.
Let go of it. Just recognize that your husband was a romantic.
Right.
His body was gone. There was no redoing or fixing after the kidneys, not even a transplant or anything of that nature.
Right.
His body had already begun.
So he was basically trying to tell her, I'm leaving, I'm going.
Yeah.
Good. And are you where you need to be now? You sound happy. I have the chills.
He's very happy.
Good. Any message for your wife?
He says, please tell her I still tuck her in every night. He says, I don't miss it. Like, I don't miss an evening.
I can't wait to tell her. I love delivering good news like that.
Yeah, awesome. Your sweetheart. He still has eyes for you. He's still loving you. He's still present.
Like, I love that.
He talks about you traveling more. He is talking about you having dates, being together. Not you and him, you and someone else.
Okay.
And he's really happy about her having this other influence, this love influence. And he says it's necessary for her to, he said, just to feel alive and to feel healed. And he wants everything best for her. Can we clone you?
Right? So she has your blessings, because I think a lot of people probably struggle with that, to enjoy the company of another man.
She has his blessing. Please.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's hard to comprehend sometimes, that doesn't change the love we have for someone. You know, if we're not here, we have to wish them the best, you know? Yeah.
Okay, if there is not a couple out there who is like calling their spouse right now, or their boyfriend, their girlfriend.
Right. Right?
You guys need to wake up.
Yeah, he's that kind, huh? Like, wow. Oh my God, I can't wait to share the message with her. Okay, thank you for coming. God, these are some great spirits. These people know some beautiful people. I've got the chills like down my legs today. Yeah. Okay, so Griffin, Chris O'Mara, which was married to my cousin, so her kids are your cousins, wants to know, do you stay 18 in heaven? Does the aging stop?
When you first asked, do you stay 18, Griff goes, no.
Yeah.
I think
you still want to be older, Griff? I'm keeping you 18. I'm sorry.
I think he's craving that acknowledgement of being 21.
Okay.
Like that kind of.
Like I've moved a little bit up. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's not interested in getting old. Does he have to stay 18? No. Does he have to go chronological like we do on Earth? He says no. But he's staying young. That's where he wants to be. That's who he is. He goes, I don't know myself in another way.
Right. Especially from this lifetime. It'd be so weird if you walked in as an old man, Jamie would be, who the heck are you? Yeah.
What?
Right? And you have big bragging rights because you're so young, but you have so much knowledge. You know?
Oh, it makes you look intelligent, Griffin.
Right? Big time.
He just told me to shut up.
So funny. Okay, Okay. Gigi and Goyette-Jeffers, Gigi Ann. So my heart is very heavy today because of a dear friend of my son and his friends overdosed Friday night. So it doesn't sound like her son, it sounds like friends. Parker was 24 years old. His older brother, same thing, about 8 months ago. So it sounds like the mother lost both boys. Whoa-wee, let me make sure I'm reading this right. His mother and father, who are my friends since our kids were in elementary school together, are devastated by the loss of their 2 sons within 1 year. Whoa. The only question in my mind for Parker is why? Why did he do it? Why did he take too much? Is it because he missed his older brother Jason? Did Parker miss Jason? Is that why he did it? So much that he had to leave the planet and be with his brother? Did he not consider how much it would hurt his mom Tammy and dad Mark? Oh boy, kiddos. I love that Griffin. You were able to talk to Griff. Wouldn't even begin to know how to ask Tammy if she wanted to talk to Parker or Jason. Right now I'm just so much in shock and all of his friends are just at a loss. It's like I can't even imagine. So we can do this as a general question or we can, what do you think?
No, I got Griffin to go retrieve Parker.
Okay. And it sounds like he lost his brother too.
8 months. Yes, he did. Jason.
Right, Parker and Jason. And it sounds like this is a friend.
Yeah, it's a friend of the parent.
Is asking.
So Parker is here with Griffin.
Hi, Parker. Sounds like you died this weekend or last weekend or really recently.
really recent. It appears like Griff is holding him up,
Okay.
like
Uh-huh.
they are on top of each other.
Okay.
Looks like a two-headed spirit.
Okay.
But Parker is here on his free will. Everybody, it's not like Griffin is making him be here.
Okay. He's 24 years old.
Parker is still a little confused.
Okay.
About what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And Parker has hair. Which is kind of okay. Anyways, Griffin is re-asking the questions if Parker is aware of where he is.
Okay.
He said yes because his brother came and got him.
Okay.
And he knows where his brother is.
Okay.
So he's aware of where he is.
Okay.
Griffin is asking him, does he remember how he passed away? Now, Parker doesn't call it so much as an overdose. Parker's trying to explain that what he took was so it was something different than what he was used to.
Okay.
Like made by a different person or bought from a different person.
Okay.
And the amount that he would have taken in the old sense wouldn't have done anything. So we have a few factors here. This is not an on-purpose overdose.
Thank you.
Parker is suggesting that he wants to be numb because he can't manage his parents' grief. He feels disconnected from his parents and from the world.
Okay.
And that he can't deal with his brother being gone.
Okay.
And Parker acknowledges he felt somewhat tied to his brother, almost like some of him died when Jason overdosed, and that he felt he had to play it out to correct it or to stop it. So there's some paralleling happening definitely between the two.
Okay.
Whereas if you kind of imagine when you're a kid and you're riding the bike for the first time, wherever you're looking is where you're going to run into. And there's just one tree in an entire field and you're staring at it, you're going to hit the tree.
Right.
So Parker had this one vision of the brother and what was done there. And I don't feel like Parker, he's saying it again, Parker was not looking to overdose or kill himself. He was looking to almost right the wrong his brother had stepped into.
Okay.
And that was subconscious. That was not like, you didn't plan that out or write that down. So this is subconscious. Now, why Parker looks like he's being propped up and so out of sorts is that he's being overwhelmed by the feelings from his parents, the feelings from his community. All of a sudden he is hearing and feeling everybody's emotions and thoughts about him at once. So he's not managing that very well. So I asked if Griffin, he goes, yes. And I go, I know you already know what I'm asking you, but I'm going to say it. Would you help Parker understand what it's like to feel everything at once and maybe get Jason, his brother, to pair up so that they are a team and with family again and just walk through what that's like, how to manage it? Okay. Yes, yeah. I don't see Jason.
Okay.
I didn't really ask, but
Right.
I probably could.
I would agree with you. My message to Parker would be, I would guess being a spirit is a lot like being a human in the sense that you're getting to feel something. I'm very feel everything, but you're feeling it and you really know what people are thinking. You don't have to just guess. So it's overwhelming. But my advice to you as a mother and a human being that lost a child and grieving, the sooner you can get out of yourself and help your parents, the better you'll feel, would be my guess.
That's really nice, Marshawn. Thank you. He's nodding his head. He's
that
listening.
Helps. Because it sounds like this was a total accident, even though a lot of emotions played into it by losing your brother and that whole thing. Like, I watch my younger son like a hawk. Yeah. But the sooner you can go back and help your family, I would think the sooner that you'll start your healing process.
He says, I just want to say I'm really sorry.
Okay.
I want to say I'm sorry. I want to say I'm sorry.
Okay.
Say it again. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Griffin's bear hugging him.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Griffin goes, we got this, Mom.
Good. Help Parker.
He's like, it's good. It's good. He's shouting.
Yeah.
He's walking Parker away. I guess we're not saying goodbye or anything. Parker's a little...
Okay. It's very, very new.
He's landed on his 2 feet, but he doesn't have his sea legs together yet.
Right? Bless your heart, and, Godspeed to everything in your family. Everything. Peace.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Kim Hamby Peace. We love her, Jamie, because she helps a lot of people. If you could ask my brother-in-law, Mike Daniel, if this new man that my sister is talking to is honest and trustworthy, she is so lonely right now, and I'm concerned for her safety and well-being. She really misses Mike. Does he know how hard she's working to keep their home? Tell Mike how much we love him, please. So we're looking for Mike Daniel.
Got him. He's being very funny and squatting down.
Do you trust the new guy that sounds like it's, I guess it would be your ex-wife, or?
Yeah. Yeah, he says, I trust him. I wouldn't have let him in.
Okay. Okay, good. So hi to you, and how are you doing?
He's doing okay. He's working overtime and working really hard to make sure that the house stays in her name.
So you realize how hard she's working to keep the house?
Yeah, and he wants her to try harder to keep it, at least through the fall of this year. After that, he's suggesting to put it on the market.
Okay. Okay. Any particular reason why, or just something you see?
He says it's a good financial move. The rate at which you sell it, I know there's a word for that.
Right.
Is good. And that there's another place that is more fitting for her.
Okay.
That is home.
Okay.
It's more quaint. It feels like her. She can catch her breath there.
Right.
So
okay.
I don't feel like you're selling it because you have debt and that you end up with nothing and then you end up as a renter, or you end up kind of losing roots. The way he's explaining it, God. The way he's explaining it is that you'll sell it and you'll find a smaller place to purchase.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering that. And it makes sense to me. Why keep up a struggle if there's something easier waiting for you?
I want to know if Mike is a close talker.
Okay, we'll ask.
That's somebody who doesn't really know personal space.
Right? Yeah. I've known a few people like that in my lifetime, but you are beautiful, Jamie. I'm sure they take their chance to get close if you let them. Draw those boundaries, Jamie. You just went to those classes. Yeah.
I just went to the class. Here's the boundary.
Right.
He's laughing so hard.
Right.
He loves this. He says, thanks, ladies.
Right. Thank you. Okay, let me see if I can squeeze this one question in because we're 1 minute over. Okay. We love this lady. Peggy Harmon. Get your buns in there. Peggy Harmon. We've talked to you before. We love you. Victoria's mama. You had to have heard us talking at Cheesecake Factory last night about what we were going to ask you.
There's some giggling in the room. Even your mother is snickering.
Okay. Well, she's a funny lady.
Griffin's back.
Okay.
Just so I'd let you know.
Hi, Griffy.
And
Peggy? Yeah.
is standing next to your mom. Your mom is sitting.
They would probably get along good. I heard she was
They seem like they do.
good. I hope they hang out. Okay. These are going to be easy questions, Peggy. Your daughter is the sweetest ever, beautiful lady. Okay. She wants to know, did you or God hear what she said to you the night before you passed? And where do you hang out when you're down here the most on earth? Like, you have 3 daughters, so I don't know if she's trying to get you to pick her as her favorite now that I'm looking at this question. Yeah. And then did you approve of what they laid you to rest in?
Like her clothing?
Yes. Because they did like a scarf thing around here because she didn't have any hair from cancer and a real flowing stuff, and it sounded beautiful the way Vic described it to me.
Peggy says, I think they tried to make me an angel.
Okay, good. So that's a yes on that.
She loved it. She says, I really didn't want a wig.
Oh, thank God, because she said they didn't know what to do, and they did the wrap.
Yeah, because she says that they were arguing about giving her hair or not.
Okay.
She was just hoping not to be buried in a wig.
Good.
She's, all of me decomposed,
Right.
gone,
Right.
except a wig.
Right. You were like, my girls, you need to think ahead. Yeah, right. That's
so
awesome.
funny I mean, she's slapstick about it in so many ways.
Right.
So yeah, she's very happy with what she was buried in.
Good.
Where she hangs out, she visits all her children every day, she says.
Okay.
She checks in on them.
Okay.
She checks in on all the family every day.
Okay.
That's something. She's got a lot of pride in her voice when she's saying that. That's
good.
Good. And then she's showing me going to the ocean. She's going to different locations. She's traveling.
Okay.
She's seeing sights.
She's like my mom then. She likes to travel.
Yes, and she goes to the sites where she feels closest to God.
Okay.
And she says those... Tell me again. The scenes that you would see on TV, like National Geographic, and you couldn't believe your eyes. That's what was really happening. That's how the sun was coming up over the Amazon. Those were the sounds of the birds. You know, that was how the whale breached the water. She says, I want to see those things firsthand.
Oh, I bet she does hang out with my mom because I can picture my mom doing that too. My mom likes to checks on her children and yeah.
Did you hear her explain the images on the TV, like on the National Geographic?
She really can see the Amazon. She can see the sunset. She can see the things that we only get to see on TV.
Yeah, she says the whales breaching the ocean, and she says that's what brings me closer to God on earth.
Wow.
So she's very much into catching those sceneries.
I love that. And it sounds like you're doing good, Peggy. Are you doing good, honey?
She is loving this. She says it's much easier than fighting cancer.
Right? Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. Well, thank you for coming, and I'm sure your daughter will have more questions for you. We'll talk to you all the time. So, thank you. Thank you.
She blows the kiss.
Thank you. Griffin, anything to tell me? Huh?
Your mom and Peggy are just chatting.
Oh, good. Yeah. They probably laugh a lot. Yeah. Anything?
Griffin said that was really cool today.
Yes, it was. Can you believe all the questions?